Good morning, my dear students. In the previous class, we discussed about the Renaissance. In this Renaissance chapter, we discussed mainly the Middle Age, what happened in the Middle Age and what is meant by Dark Age, as well as what are the causes for Renaissance. So, which are the causes? The main causes for the Renaissance: fall of Constantinople, Crusades. We all know what is meant by Crusades. Crusades is nothing but the clashes between the religions. Okay. Next, development in a science. In the Renaissance time, so many inventions were started, like astrolabe, invention of astrolabe. Next, printing press. These are the developments in a science field, as well as hunger for discovery and reintroduction of classical works. These are topics we discussed in the previous class, is it? So today in this class we are going to discuss features of Renaissance. What? Features of Renaissance. Features of Renaissance. What is mean by features? Do you know characteristics? So Renaissance means how is it? So what is the features of? For example, human being. What are the features? We have eyes, we have hands, legs, head. These are the features of human beings. No, like that. What are the features of Renaissance? Today in this class, we are going to discuss that. Okay. In that first one, humanism. First one, humanism. So what is mean by humanism? Look at in your textbooks. Till the beginning of the 14th century, religious ideas dominated the life of the people in Europe. People were more interested in a divinity, life after death, concept of hell and heaven, rather than on life of man on earth. During this period, man became the center of concern. This period marked the shift of focus from divinity to humanism. Humanism laid emphasis on humans, their intellect and their life on earth. Human life as well as human desires and achievements received great importance. The spirit of humanism found expression in the new art and literature. Renaissance scholars glorify the human body, though Renaissance artists chose their subjects from holy books. They depicted it through the human form. So here, humanism. This word you heard in before also. Is it? Here no one don't know the meaning of humanism. Tell me. What is mean by humanism? Right. So humanism is nothing but a being a human being with the behaving with the other human being. Okay, that is called humanism. So in the Renaissance period or in a dark age, already I told in the dark age, the priest is going to tell the concept of heaven and hell. If we did any something sin, we will go to hell. Okay, like that. Here also, when the Renaissance began, the concept of hell and heaven will be the lost. Okay, concept of heaven and hell. Hell. This concept will be gone. Before, in the dark age period, the concept of heaven and hell present. Okay, how this heaven and hell concept gone? Because of the people started to questioning themselves and started to think rationally and started they think in a scientific manner. They started to ask themselves why we need to do like this. What is the meaning for this? What is mean by hell? How is it? Like that they started to question themselves and they find the answers. Okay, that is present in a humanism. Okay, next from the heaven and hell concept, they moved from this concept to humanism concept, and they started to give respect to the other peoples. He may belongs to poor, he may belongs to rich, but every people got the respect in that Renaissance time, and everyone started to get a education. In the Dark Age period, only the priest, only the rich people getting a education. Who know the Latin and Greek language, they only getting the education. But in the Renaissance time, through the humanism, every books were going to print in all the languages, and everyone started to get a education. When the education getting, everyone became thinking where in a rational thinking. Rational thinking means broad thinking. Okay, there is no casteism, there is no rich and poor, everyone are equal. Like this concept present in a humanism. Okay, later, rationalism. Rationalism. So rationalism is the second feature. First feature humanism, second feature rationalism. So what is mean by rationalism? Shift of focus from religious ideas to worldliness resulted in observation and curiosity. So to understand the physical world around you, emphasis was laid on knowledge derived from sensory experience rather than on a blind beliefs. The thinkers of Renaissance tested traditional beliefs, subjecting them to reason and logic. A spirit of inquiry and thinking developed. Reason and investigation became the principles of education. This spirit led to the invention of many scientific devices like the astrolabe, the Mariner compass, gunpowder, printing machine, etc. The church began to encourage the study of subjects like mathematics, physics, natural science and philosophy. So in the Dark Age time, we discussed the complete authority, the center of the power were present in the hands of church. But now, in the Renaissance time, church giving permission to and encouraging to the people to study all the subject in all the fields like mathematics, science or architecture, any field. Church is now giving encourage to learn all the subjects. How this came? Because of rational thinking. Rational thinking is nothing but a thinking in a broad way. Okay, so broad way means now we are living in a Europe continent, we are living in Italy. So what about other countries, other continents like Asia, Australia, like that? This continents is there, no? In the Europe continent contact with the Asia continent. So how the people of Asia continent living? What's their philosophy? They observed and they started to accept that, and they are also following the philosophy of the Eastern countries. Okay, so through that the people started to read the books, lot of books, and they started to think in a rational thinking. By broadly they started to think and then started questioning. They started questioning. I told you in the previous class also, when we asking questions, a lot of questions we are asking, we will gain more knowledge. If we quietly sitting, we never get a knowledge. Like as well as in the Renaissance period also, the rationalism started. How the thinkers, the literatures, the scholars were present in Italy, no? They lived in Italy, no? Those people started questioning to the church peoples, and they are asking superstition beliefs. Whatever the superstition beliefs present in that society, they started to questioning that. How is it possible? Why you are telling like that? Like these questions, and they started inquiry on that. Later, they gave knowledge to the common people, and they are awakening the common people. All the people later came to study all the subjects. They gained the knowledge and they started inventions. So when the earth in the period before this invention, astrolabe, Marinier compass inventions before, the people thought earth in a flat shape. Okay. So when the earth is flat shape, at the end we came, for example, if you come, this is earth is a flat shape, no? So here the Italy people living. So when the Italy people took a long travel, after they came here, if they feeling that after we come at the end we will fall down. Okay. So this is the concept before introducing Marinier compass. When the Marinier compass invented, the sailors were started to sail on the sea, and they found that earth is not in a flat shape, earth present in a round shape. This concept started after the invention of Marinier compass. Okay. So this is also one part of Renaissance and rational thinking. With the help of rational thinking only, people started to sail on the sea. They found that the earth is in a round shape, a spherical shape. We never fall, and we will where they started their journey, again they came back to that place. Okay. The next point is renewed interest in classical literature and art. So renewed means reintroducing. Renewed means reintroducing or rechanging the classical literature and art. So classical literature means whatever the literature were present in the wrote in the period middle age or in before the dark age, that's all the literature now reintroducing to the people in a local languages. That is the main meaning of that headline. Okay. Renewed interest in classical literature and art. The Renaissance marked a revival of interest in classical literature and art. This interest boosted creativity and respect for the past. So what is in the Renaissance period, renewing of the old literature and art, it brings in the common people started to give respect to the past literature, and they are accepting the present literature also. Okay, they are in the Renaissance period, people started to give respect to their past culture, and they following the modern culture. They are accepting modern. Okay, so nowadays we are so much improved in modern in technology, but still we are following our cultures. While in morning we wake up, we will do bath, and we will take a bath, and we will do some puja. In festivals also we will do. Is it? So what is that? We are respecting our culture, our past cultures, and we are adopting present modernization also. Like that, in the Renaissance period also, people gave respect to the past culture, and they are adopting the modern culture. Okay, that is called renewing interest in classical literature and art. Next, beginning of Renaissance. So, beginning of Renaissance. The Renaissance movement began in Italy. In the previous class only I told Renaissance, the home city of Renaissance is Italy. Home city of Renaissance, Italy. So, Greek scholars and thinkers who migrated to Italy along with their original manuscripts spread the knowledge contained in it to others. The movement which thus began in Italy rapidly spread to other parts of Europe. So in the Dark Age, or in the when the Ottoman Turks attacked the Constantinople, in the time the Greek scholars, Greek literatures who moved to the Italy. So when the people, the scholars moved to Italy, they started with which they have the manuscripts, the handwritten copies. So with the help of that handwritten copies, they spread knowledge throughout the Europe. Okay, so after spreading the knowledge with the throughout the Europe, the people started thinking in a scientific manner. Again, the Renaissance began with the help of rational or with the help of spreading the knowledge throughout the Europe. The Renaissance began. Okay. Next, patronage. The rich middle class in Italy. Comprising mostly the merchants and traders, patronized art, literature and architecture. The wealthy merchants of Florence and aristocrats of Milan and Naples used their wealth for the revival of classical culture and literature. Liberal churchmen also extended patronage to the artists and writers of the Renaissance period. So, in the patronage means rich middle class in Italy. So in Italy it is a one class. Nowadays we know that casteism is there, no? Casteism, like in the casteism we have upper class, lower class, is it? So like here also in Italy the patronage is a one rich middle class group. Okay, so these group and mostly merchants in this group, who are there? Merchants and traders, and patronize art and architecture, literature, architecture. A wealthy merchants. So wherever these patronage people, rich middle class people live in a Florence, and aristocrats. Aristocrats also rich, a group of rich people. Okay, they are also living in a Milan and Naples. Milan and Naples are two places names. Like Italy. Italy is a one place name. No, like that. Milan and Naples also place name. In these places, the rich people were living in the Renaissance period at Italy. Okay. So next, they reveal the liberal churchmen. So in this Italy, Naples, Milan, in these three areas, the rich peoples are living now. So these rich peoples started to get a lot of knowledge of education. Through them, they are spreading the knowledge. They are just with the help of church. Okay. So with the help of church, they introduce education to all the people in a local language. So next, impact of Renaissance. Impact of Renaissance. The Renaissance had a great impact on all aspects of life. So, how the Renaissance impacted on the people? That is the main topic of the impact of Renaissance meaning. So here, what are the effects? Art, literature, architecture, science, philosophy, religion. So in these fields, which are these fields? Art, architecture, literature, education, science, philosophy and religion. In these fields, the development were started in the Renaissance period. That is the impact of Renaissance. Next, in the how the literature improved in the Renaissance period. Okay, so let me see. The most significant feature of Renaissance literature was the use of local languages such as Italian, Spanish, English, German, etc. So now in the Renaissance time, already I told, in the Renaissance time, the Greek and Latin languages became a local languages. whatever the literature present in a Greek and Latin language, that all literature transferred to the all the local languages. Which are the local languages? Italy, Spanish, English, German languages. These are the European languages of the local languages. Do you understand? So, next, until there, Latin and Greek were the literary languages. Up to the Renaissance beginning, before the Renaissance started, only the Greek and Latin language only present in Europe. But later Renaissance, the local languages like Italy, Spanish, German and English, these are the local languages. In these local languages, the books were started to print. Okay. Next, another important feature was a shift in the theme of literary works. Theme of literary works means the main theme. For example, in the Renaissance before, only literatures are always based on religious concepts. God, related to divinity, related to God stories. Okay, those books only printing before the Renaissance period. But after the Renaissance period, the theme of the literature was started to change. What are the themes that we see? Earlier writers used spiritual and divine themes. So in the before the Renaissance, only the divine and spiritual themes only present. But later Renaissance, where writers choose social problems. What? Social problems and themes as subject for their writings. William Shakespeare were about human emotions such as love, anger, revenge, betrayal, etc. This helped even the common man to understand literature. So, Shakespeare written is literature in the English language. Do you heard the name Shakespeare? No? He is the father of English literature. Shakespeare is the father of English literature. He is famous for his sonnets. Sonnets means 14 lines poems. Okay. So in the later classes, in the 9th, 10th, you will be going to read about Shakespeare poems also. Okay. So in the Renaissance period, the literature they started to think before the Renaissance. Already I told before the Renaissance, the spiritual divinity themes only present. But after the Renaissance, the literature themes were changed, like social problem. The literature started to discuss through the literature, through the books, through the stories, through the pictures, through the dramas, through the short stories. They started to discuss social problems. Social problems. Next, they started to give in this literature, they gave importance for love, angry, next, revenge, etc. So here, betrayal means Asuriya antirappa. Okay, that is the. So in the period, Renaissance period, in literature covered these topics. First one, social problems. Social problems is nothing but what are the common peoples are facing in a society. For example, in this period, rich people, poor people. Rich people are going to dominate the poor people. How they are dominated. And child labor. Do you know child labor? You know child labor? So the age below the 14 years, children are involving in a work for low penny. Okay? In England, the child labor was more in the after the Renaissance, in the industrialization period. Okay? So when the industrialization started, and that time the child labor system also more improved a lot. That is the one of the social problem. And here dominate on the rich people to poor people. Poor people and women are getting a lot of dominate in the social problems. That one also discussed. As well as the poems, the Shakespeare poems are very interesting for a love poems. And his stories also related to the love and angry and revenge. Macbeth is the one of the famous drama of the Shakespeare. In that Macbeth, he introduced what the revenge and angry love. These three topics were included in the Shakespeare's literature. Okay, so before that, before the Renaissance, only divine and spiritual. But later, social problems discussed and love, angry, revenge, battle were present in the literature. Okay. Next, classical authors and their famous works. Now we are discussing who are the famous writers who belong to the Renaissance period. So first, Petrarch. Petrarch is an Italian scholar and writer famous for sonnets and poetry. So he is a Petrarch. Petrarch is a great and famous writer for sonnets. We can call Petrarch sonnets also present. Like Shakespeare sonnets I told no. Likewise Petrarch sonnets also famous in English. His sonnets were present in the Italian language. Shakespeare's literature present in the English no. Like Petrarch works are literature present in the Italian language. Next, Dante, Italian poet. His famous work is Divine Comedy, an epic poem which reveals the religious and social life during the period. So here, Divine Comedy is a famous book of the Dante, and in this Divine Comedy, he introduced social problems and divinity belongs to that period. How the people are divining the God and what are the problems faced by the common people. All that included in the Divine Comedy. So Giovanni Boccaccio, Italian scholar and writer. Giovanni Boccaccio is an Italian scholar and he writes Decameron, a collection of short stories. Decameron is one of the short stories written by Boccaccio. Next, Machiavelli. Machiavelli in Indian political writer. So, do you know political means civics? Civics about government system, how the government should be ruled. What are the rules we need? That's all included in the Italian political writer. So, the Prince is a political related book. Okay, the Prince is written by Machiavelli. This book is very important for your competitive exams also. Next, ruled out the role of ethics in politics. The Prince book included, the work included, the rules out the role of ethics in politics. So, what are the ethics we need in our politics? That's included in a work, the Prince. Okay. Next, Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer, English writer. Canterbury's Tales. Canterbury's Tales is nothing but the people in a European country who are going to travel to the for holy places. Okay. For example, in our India, the holy place is Kashi. Okay. So, who are going to Kashi, writing their story. that is included in a category tales. Tales is nothing but stories. Okay, whose stories who go into the holy places, their stories. So here Geoffrey Chaucer wrote Canterbury Tales. Next, Cervantes, Spanish writer Don Quixote, a classic or western literature. Next, William Shakespeare, Ben Jonson, Marvell were famous playwrights. Playwrights means drama writers. Okay, dramas. Next, Lorenzo Valla, a famous Italian historian, humanist and philosopher. So here, Lorenzo Valla is an Italian historian. Historian means who study about the history. That he is called a historian. Okay. Next, humanist, who will follow and who will discuss, who will study the humanistic philosophy. He is called humanistic. Next, and philosopher, who have deep knowledge in one particular topic. He is called philosopher. Next, another group of writers were admirers and of ancient Greek and Latin classics. Some of them went to Constantinople to do research works on classics. Eurispa brought 250 Greek manuscripts from Constantinople to Italy. So here, Aurispa is a person. He bought 250 books, manuscripts, 250 manuscripts from the Constantinople to Italy. So whatever remaining books were present in a dark age when the Constantinople attacked by Ottoman Turks, in that time some books were left in Constantinople. So those manuscripts are now brought again Aurispa. Aurispa brought again those manuscripts to Italy. These are the main important topics related to the literature. Okay. Next, art. So art. There were significant changes even in the field of art, especially painting and sculptures. So art is nothing but art, it's painting and sculptures. Painting means, we know that painting. Sculptures means the temple designs. Okay, so that is called sculptures. During the Middle Age, the artist had no choice for a personal expression. Even the color which the painter could use was regulated, and any deviations was regarded as irreligious. However, the Renaissance artists floated the rules and traditions and adapted new artist devices like canvas, woods, oil, color and other materials. So here in the Middle Age or in the before the Dark Age or before the Renaissance, people don't have the painters doesn't have the rights to choose their own color. If they want the color, they are like they didn't have to use that because the tradition like that. But after the Renaissance, people, the painters started, they want what they wish, which color they are going to wish, they will painting that. Which picture they will wish to write, they will painting that. Okay, that brings freedom to the emotions in the Renaissance period. Next, in the Middle Age, the paintings were present in canvas sheets, wood, oil paints and other materials used to paint the paints. Next, in the Middle Ages, painting was restricted to traditional scenes from Christianity, mythology and other religious themes. So, in the Renaissance, before the Renaissance period, only the pictures only present to the religious concepts. But later, the Renaissance, it was changed. Okay. So, here, but Renaissance artists reviewed the classical style of paintings and combined it with the realistic pattern of subject. They painted landscapes and human body and portraits. So here, before the Renaissance, only the painting related to only the religious concept, traditional concepts, and only related to the story of gods. Paintings related to only story of gods. But later the Renaissance, it was changed and they started to paint the other social concept related, love concept. Okay, so like humanistic concepts. These are the changes brought in the art also. Next, great Renaissance architecture, artists and their great works. So Leonardo da Vinci is a famous painter. He was a scientist, mathematician, engineer, inventor, painter, musician and writer. Leonardo da Vinci is not a one painter. He is a scientist. He is a mathematician and engineer and inventor, painter, musician. But Leonardo da Vinci is famous for his paintings. Okay. So here Mona Lisa. Do you heard the name Mona Lisa? Okay. And last super are considered to be his great work. See here, Mona Lisa is a painting drawn by Leonardo Vinci. Okay, so next Michelangelo. He was a painter, architect, sculptor, and a poet. His famous paintings are Last Judgment, The Fall of Men. So his paintings are Last Judgment and Fall of Man. These are the two painting works of Michelangelo. Next, his paintings on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in Rome is the most famous and largest painting created during the Renaissance. So, Sistine Chapel in Rome is the most and largest painting in the Renaissance period, painted by Michelangelo. Michelangelo had three works, main three works. First one is the Last Judgment, second the Fall of Man, third one the Sistine Chapel in Rome. These are the three paintings drawn by or painted by Michelangelo. Next, Raphael. Raphael is another painter. He was called the perfect painter. Sistine Modano. He was his famous painting. Next, see here, look at in your textbook, you have that pitch paintings, Last Judgment and Fall of Men. Below in your textbook, see here, this is the painting, Michelangelo painting, the Last Judgment and Fall of Men. This is the painting, and Sistine Chapel in Rome. This is the another painting. Okay. Next, sculptures. Sculptures emerged as an independent art during Renaissance. Before Renaissance, sculptures formed a part of buildings or churches. Some of the outstanding sculptures of this period were Donatello. He developed three-dimensionally conceived sculptures, the bronze statue of David and the realistic statue of Saint Mark in Venice are his great works. So here that Donatello is famous for his sculptures. Okay, so in the sculptures emerged as independent after Renaissance. Sculptures also got freedom. Before that, they need only sculpture related to God. But later they started new version. Okay. So Donatello, he developed three-dimensional. Three-dimensional means in wherever we can stand, it will look same. Okay, that is called three-dimension. You know three-dimension images? Three-dimensional images. so three-dimensional image means, for example, if you standing here, you will see the same image. When you go to here, you will see the same image, but in a different angle. Okay, that is called 3D images. So next, the bronze statue of David and the realistic statue of Saint Mark in the Venice. So this is the two main or famous work of Donatello. Next, Michelangelo. His greatest works are the statues of David, Pieta and Moses. Peter was carved by him to decorate his own tomb. So tomb means samadhi. Okay, so this is the main works of Michelangelo. Next, see here the mosaics. Mosaics, this is the sculpture. This is the architecture, sculptures in that period. Next, Pieta. This is the bronze picture. The metal used bronze here. Okay. Next, here one is a statue of Saint Mark and David. Next here, Michelangelo picture, image. This painting was worked by Michelangelo only. Next, Filippo Brunelleschi. So, next the architecture. The architecture style developed during the Renaissance period emphasized symmetry, proportion and geometry. The main feature of this style was the orderly arrangement of columns, pilasters and lintels, as well as the use of semicircles, arches, domes and niches. So here the architecture means the pillars, the type of different types of pillars. If you see the Mysore Palace, you will get different types of architecture in that. So the domes, the upper the floor, everything was different in the architecture, is it? So like in the architecture in the period Renaissance, also the various types of architecture was introduced in this period. So Filippo Brunelleschi, Michelangelo, Raphael and Palladio were considered the greatest sculptors of the Renaissance period. Saint Peter Basilica at Rome, Florence Cathedral and Uffizi Chapel are the greatest creations of this period by these sculptors. Okay, so these are the people who are famous for in the sculptures. One is Filippo Brunelleschi, Michelangelo, Raphael, Palladio were the greatest sculptors. Next, Peter's Basilica at Rome, Florence Cathedral and Uffizi Chapel are the greatest creations in the period of sculptures. These names are very important. Okay, the person's names are very important. You have short note or a long note question for on this passage. Okay. Next, we will discuss in the later class. Okay. Thank you.